Just Mike, just start with the fourth quarter and just how you were able to do it. The one thing that crossed my mind I was going to ask is, do you feel like everything this team's been through and the experience you have was the difference in getting this one and maybe and not?
Yeah, no question. Yeah, the things, the close games we have been in, the times that we've either had a lead or needed to come back, they start with score stops and scores and stop scores and stops, a drill that we do weekly, still, even though we're late in the year. But that's the advantage of having a bunch of seniors. And listen, I don't count Michaela as a sophomore. She's played as many minutes as most juniors and seniors in the country. So, I was really proud of Erin coming in there defensively. I thought she made a huge impact in that fourth quarter, making Thompson catch it just a little bit further out. And then taking it to the rack a couple times as well. So, yeah, it was the difference. And I also think, it kind of helped us in a way that Mac had been in foul trouble because she didn't play as many minutes, and she came and hit those two big threes behind the screen and then got a stop. And we all know that we're really sensitive to how we are offensively. And once we made a few shots, I thought our defense really got better too.
Randy, go ahead. Randy, we got no audio on you for some reason.
Yeah, you're off. It doesn't say mute, but we can't hear you, Randy. That beard may be underneath your microphone. And I can't read lips. I'm a horrible lip reader. Maybe you can type it or something. Randy Rainwater's speechless for the first time in recorded history.
That's amazing. Hey, one thing, I'll jump in here. Can you talk about Michaela in that fourth quarter? I mean, that's two huge shots and just what she was able to do for you there.
Y'all know her. She's like this. Like you can't tell. She is just like this. She came off fired up. So you could tell, that was good to see. We work on with it. You go into the screen, you fire it, man. She shot that thing with the confidence of a veteran, and that really sparked us. But no, she was fired up. She was playing with a lot of emotion, which we needed tonight. We were flat. It was a tough environment on senior night. They had it was the longest senior night I've ever seen for one senior. We didn't get to take the floor until about the 4-minute mark of warm-ups after being off the floor for almost 11 minutes. So I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just pointing out a fact. But I thought her energy, and that's a cliche, but her intensity was really big in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, we still don't got you, Randy. I'm not sure what's going on. Paul, you got anything else?
Yeah, let's just kind of talk about. I mean, you talk about the one senior. I mean, she had a senior effort tonight. I mean, that's something y'all had to overcome, right?
Yeah, I know, and it got to a point where it was just they were going to go inside every time, which they did. But I thought Erin met her a little bit earlier, did her work a little bit earlier, which allowed Amber's double team to be a little bit more effective. We stopped fouling her, and then we boxed her out so she didn't get her – she had 3 offensive rebounds, okay? That is a win. She had 10 the last time. The 15 defensive, that's because she's so good. But the 3 is really, really key for us. We had a lot of opportunities to lose that thing. We gave up 4 free throw box outs. We had some very uncharacteristic turnovers in the first half, throwing it off each other's chest and face and – doing some uncharacteristic things. But, I thought that Unique Thompson is a very, very special player who's been really, really impactful in our league. And I still say that they're the best 0-14 team to ever play the game in the SEC.
Jason, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Amber getting back on track offensively and then holding them for 1 for 9. I know you talked about it a little bit, but just how critical that was during that 4-minute stretch there, going 1 for 9 from the floor.
Yeah, it just picked up defensively. We were contesting on the perimeter. We weren't giving up drives right straight line at the basket, which Sometimes we're ended up in and ones. But yeah, Amber getting it going offensively, that it stretches you so much. That clip in the first half of her pulling up in transition 1-on-0 for a 3. I've been waiting for her to do that all her whole career. She does it in practice a lot, but that's just the confidence that kid plays with, and she brings us. I just look at the stat sheet, and we go 5 for 13, 5 for 13, 5 for 13 between Slocum, Amber, and Chelsea. That what is that? 15 for 39. That's not what they normally do. But they got themselves to the foul line, and Amber finding those creases along with Mac. Jalen's was timely. Slocum's was early, but 10 out of 23 is going to be enough to win most nights.
Anyone else for Coach? Randy, you want to give us one more try?
Strike 3. Sorry.
Just how critical. Sorry, go.
Go ahead, Jason.
How critical a win was this? I know as we talked about the other day, just trying to stack these up and not having a bad loss, down the stretch.
You answered it right there. That's what it would have been, mathematically. It wouldn't have necessarily felt like that because I've got a lot of respect for Auburn, but it would have given the committee reason to take us out of the conversation. That they moved the reveal up to 5 o'clock. I saw on Sunday. I think we tip at 5. So I got to think we've got ourselves in the conversation for being one of the top 16 seeds. The way we've been playing down the stretch and what we've done, the body of work, the number of top 50 and 100 opponents that we've played. I'll be really interested at tip. I'll be looking at Mario. I'll be kind of cutting my eyes to see if we're in it. Whether we are or not, that's fine. I know that we're in the conversation, and that's a really, really cool place to be. And yeah, Jason, a loss here would have eliminated that from a possibility, which wouldn't have been the end of the season. But I think, did Alabama win? They lost tonight. They lost. So I think if I look at it right, we're playing for that maybe 5 or 6, the 6th seed, 6-7 on Sunday. And after that atmosphere that our men had for the Alabama game, man, I hope we can get something similar to that for our seniors on Sunday.
Anybody else for Coach?
Randy, call me tomorrow. I'll hop on there with you.
Coach, what was the locker room like at halftime?
There was no locker room. I don't let them. The locker room here was about the size of my first 2 apartments in Seattle. I could touch the wall on both sides with my hand and my foot. So we had a makeshift area set up down in the tunnel. And I told a couple of my card council kids as we were walking off the court that the coaches weren't coming in there until the very last second. Y'all get down there and talk to each other. Don't wait for us. Y'all talk to us and get this thing talked about before we get in there. I want to know what y'all talked about. And as soon as I walked in, they had some really good answers. We had about a minute conversation, and then it was back to the floor. So that was a team-led deal. By this time of the year, if it's still a coach-led team, we're in some serious trouble. And it was a player-led discussion and player-led results. So halftime was disjointed, but effective. And then the last quarter, the timeout and going into that fourth quarter was very cohesive, not disjointed. And that was the first time all night I really felt like we had a chance to win, was after we broke that huddle and that timeout, or that change of quarters.